Alrighty then, greetings everybody, welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video. And in today's video, we're actually going to be reacting to Braxophone's video of Rappa's early access and his first impressions. Because I actually haven't seen much, surprisingly, about this character. I just know that she's a break DPS and she's an erudition character. So I'm already a bit funky with break as a concept. So yeah, if you are new around, please consider liking, subscribing, and joining us, the Celery Army, because I'm trying to hit 5k subscribers before the year ends. I still think it's possible, right? And with all that being said, I did skip a little bit because he's just, you know, like joking and showing us the little surfboard thing. I more or less want to go over what she does in game and how she is in game and all that. So obviously, I'm going to be giving my honest thoughts and opinions. I guess you could say I'm going to be biased if you want. So with all that being said, let's get this reaction video started already, shall we?
Pretty cool. I like it a lot. Before we go into combat, I have 151 speed and I have a really bad crit rate. Why? Because she's actually a super break character. I have 173 break effect and I have 3.4k attack. Much like Firefly, she does scale somewhat off of attack, except this one feels a little bit easier to cap out. As you can see, she has another trace here when you get close to max level. When an enemy target becomes weakness broken, it increases the break damage they take by 20%, and this can go up to 8% for every 100 excess attack after 2400. That means that you only need 3200 attack, and everything after that is technically stat waste, and it lasts for...
Isn't that a bit harder though? Because isn't... Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Fireflies... Isn't it at like 1.8k? This is at 2.4k. Wouldn't that be... like, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just me, but like I'm pretty sure Fireflies was
2 turns after an enemy gets weakness broken. But I'm gonna be honest, guys, with this character, you're gonna be breaking a lot of enemies, so you're probably not gonna have to worry about that. But rather than explain her whole kit, it's best to just show you. So we'll go hop into Memory of Chaos. Just for this example, I'm using Eternal Calculus, which is a free-to-play light cone from the Herda shop, and I'm using 2-piece Talia for the planar set and Iron Cavalry for the 4-piece set. For the build, real quick, I'm going attack percent chest piece, speed boots, attack percent orb, and a break effect rope. Oh, and E0 as usual. So let's just hop right into it. So as mentioned before, this is a super break character, so we're going to be playing her in a super break team. We have Harmony Trailblazer, Rappa, Ronmei, and Linkshot together, and Linkshot is going to help us get some more break damage and also be a cleanser. Basically Gallagher plus. You can play Gallagher here, that's totally fine.
Alright, one thing that I do want to personally say myself is that this MOC is specifically catered towards break effect, right, to an extent, which is, I mean, obviously why Rappa's a thing. But one thing that I do want to say is, similar to Firefly's release, when her MOC was catered towards her, people were getting a zero cycle like if it was cake. And after that, like no joke, the following MOC was the exact same one without the Trotter buff, and then a lot of people had a lot of issues. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like showcasing her in MOC when she's more of a erudition / pure fiction unit is kind of, I don't know, it's not going to show her full potential. I feel like this would be better if it was a pure fiction showcase, because in MOC she's going to be doing alright, but in pure fiction she's going to shine a bit more. Like, this is not an MOC unit, even though this MOC is in theory catered towards her. It's just break as a concept, they need to do something with it, because break effect characters, they're good, but at the same time they're not that good.
All right, so it's Rappa's turn. We have her at a whopping, after buffs, 176 speed. It's supposed to be because of that Ronmei buff, we're getting an extra like 10 speed. But typically you don't need her to be that high. But all right, so as you can see, she has a single target basic attack, and if you use her skill, it becomes AoE. That's because she's an erudition character.
I really like how
she's meant to slap the everything crap out of all of these guys. And for a quick,
what is that even called? The shit looks though. I don't even know what that's called. That doesn't feel that right away.
And her skill just does damage to everyone. What you're actually going to notice here is that every single time you break an enemy weakness, and it doesn't have to be with Rappa, it's just anytime an enemy's weakness is broken, she gets 1 point of charge, up to a maximum of 10. When you launch the 3rd hit of her ultimate, it deals additional break damage, which affects your super break damage and it actually ignores weakness type when you use her ultimate. The toughness reduction
So like
is
Acheron, so
reduced
everybody's
when you're ignoring weakness
following
type, but you
Acheron.
also get some bonuses from it. Now, the instances of charge, we have 3 right off the bat from her technique because we came into battle and hit them, so 3 enemies are weakness broken. But as you can see, we also have these 3 little tick boxes like Harmony MC has. And actually, I don't think I activated my Harmony MC idle on, so I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So now we have the opportunity to attack with Rappa, and I'm gonna just show you her animations. They're super sick. Our goal is just gonna be to break everything and do super break damage, but first we gotta get our Harmony MC's ultimate up. So go ahead and use this. And it's just something about that is just so visually stimulating for my brain. Maybe I'm actually just a monkey, but like I genuinely love all those colors on the screen. Oh my God. You could jingle keys in front of me and I think I would find probably similar enjoyment to that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and skill with Link Shaw.
That's funny,
get some
actually.
super break damage. My Link Shaw, I believe, is built with an ER rope, so our super break damage is not actually that crazy. And now that we have Harmony MC up again, we're actually just gonna basic attack this guy on the left because I want to get skill points back. We're gonna go ahead and basic attack this guy with Ron May, and then they're gonna attack us and give us the rest of the energy we need, essentially. So Bunny's gonna attack. We're gonna go ahead and use Ron May's ultimate here, just because it's up and we're doing that. They're gonna hit everyone, not everyone. I don't know, sometimes they'll just wide swing at everyone and you'll get some energy, but it's okay. So we came up on Rappa's ultimate right now, and as you can see, they have the 3 stacks empty and the 10 stacks of charge. What we're going to do, we're gonna go ahead and use her ult.
The wait is
Oh my
over.
days. I'm actually gonna kill myself. That is crazy. But I did want to say, so getting her to like a buff in state is actually relatively easy. That's good.
Dude, it looks so sick. It looks so freaking cool. I absolutely love this. I can't think of what it reminds me of. I think there's a specific mission in Sonic Adventure Director's Cut that I played on GameCube a long time ago where you like run down a building, and I think it's a little bit of that combined with the Fortnite drop trail. But anyway, so now we're in her ultimate. As you can see, she has these 3 charges and these 10 stacks. Well, the 3 charges are actually the amount of times you can use the enhanced basic attack. And sorry, I don't mean just the enhanced basic attack. I mean the combo of enhanced basic attacks, right? So this guy still
This first person thing needs to be done more.
So
This is actually really
so we're gonna go
fucking
ahead
cool.
and hit them once. Boom. All right, 81k, they're broken. Now we can hit the middle one. Boom, 129. And the last hit is gonna be AoE, and it's actually gonna do less toughness reduction, but it's gonna hit everything. And it's pretty disgusting. You'll see this drop off here. Boom, 884k. And now we just get to go again. The reason is because when you activate her ultimate, she actually gets an extra turn. So that those first 3 attacks were her extra turn. Now is her actual turn. So we get to do this, and boom, that guy is done. We're on to the next phase, and we use 2 sequences of that. And now Rappa's up again because we just switched cycles, and she is the fastest character. So we get to go 3 times in a row. As you see, we're gonna go ahead and blast, and we're gonna AoE right here. Boom, Bunny comes up. And
That's
we can ult
crazy.
right again for an extra
That's
turn.
actually
now, one
meta.
thing to know, there is one super important thing.
Was I wrong
her
about her?
basic
I don't know.
attacks are a little strange. So they're actually generating energy. You saw we got our ultimate almost right away after that, right? So her basic attacks are generating normal amount of basic attack energy. Her ult is going to give her 5 energy, which is
Should I
normal. Her
pull
basic
for
attack
Rappa?
1
Actually,
in the
hold on
combo is
now.
gonna give 5 energy and dish out 10 toughness break. Her basic attack 2 is going to be 5 energy and 10 toughness break as well. That's 10 energy and 20 toughness break in the first 2 hits. The third hit is going to give you the last 10 energy of the basic attack. So you still are getting 20 energy with the basic attack, but the last hit is AoE, so it's actually only doing 5 toughness break on each enemy. But if we go and look at her talent, the third hit's going to get all of the buffs and bonuses to it. So even though it is AoE, your main target's going to take a ton more damage. But okay, so that 25 energy shouldn't be enough to get your ult back, right? Well, you also have other buffs as well. When you break an elite level or higher enemy's weakness, you're actually getting a bonus 10 energy. So if there's multiple elites and you break them, Rappa's getting an extra 10. And on top of that, just getting enemy defeats and defeating enemies in general gives you a lot of energy too. So all of those things combined help her build up her ultimate again. We got 20 energy from her basic. Her ultimate was an extra 5, so 25 energy plus another 20 because she moved right away again, and all of the weakness breaks and all of the enemy KOs, which basically led us to just having another one right away. So that's how we got our ultimate back so fast. One other thing to note
her
is
ultimate is
that while you're
140
in seal form
cost.
state, which
It's
is your
not- it's not
ultimate,
a
you
lot.
actually get increased weakness break efficiency and break effect, which is nice because Raw May also gives you some of that, right? But on top of that, there's a trace that makes it so that you actually convert toughness reduction from instances of damage to extra super break damage, which helps her dish out even more damage. You can see she's doing a lot, right? So go ahead and watch this. We're gonna go ahead and break them. Boom, 137, boom, 200k. And the third hit's gonna slap. Are you ready? 1.2 mil. Now, I feel like I don't need to remind you guys of this, but I will, just because I want to make sure everyone's on the same page if maybe you skip to this part of the video. Rappa is on a free-to-play light code at E0. So this amount of damage is pretty insane. We'll go in AoE because we have the we have the skill points to do it. And then we'll also
That's actually a lot.
do the same thing here. Use our skill. Ron May's asleep. It's okay.
But one thing that I do feel like is still, my point is still gonna stand of the fact that this MOC is catered towards break effect heavily, and more specifically this mob right here, this boss is heavily catered towards break effect characters. Like when you break their toughness bar, all of them, you do increase damage to them. So I just do want to say that showing her in her best team with a free-to-play LC is definitely impressive, but then showing her in something that's just free, that's no joke, catered towards her, it's a bit less impressive, if that makes sense to an extent, because it's like obviously she's gonna excel here and do more than what anybody else would originally do, but nevertheless, this is still hella fucking impressive.
Little EP. I'm gonna hit this guy with a second one. Get stop this down, and then this should kill, or this should break him. Boom.
Yeah, that's
we actually get one more
crazy,
sequence
actually.
of those. So as long as these guys get broken, we should be chilling. We're gonna go ahead and skill on Link Shot, bring Banui up, and now for Rappa's.
So one thing that I definitely do see here, unlike Firefly, because Firefly, when she's in her enhanced state, she buffs the crap out of her speed. You definitely want a really fast Rappa, or at least DDD on Harmony MC. I feel like DDD now is becoming more of a meta thing to put on Harmony MC in the break category. Because just look at this. Like if you had, I don't know if he has DDD, but if he does, then boom, Rappa gets another turn, and then that would be like the freest and easiest zero cycle ever. But that's interesting.
Next turn. This is not going to be a zero cycle, unfortunately, but now for Rappa's next turn, they're dead. That's their gift, is they get to perish on Rappa's next turn.
Also, notice the amount of skill
and Rappa's
points.
ultimate comes back up. I mean, these guys are
I mean,
mostly dead anyways.
not skill points. The
But check this out. Boom,
Energy.
boom, boom, 401k, and we had her ultimate back again. So, to be honest, she seems pretty good to me. Based on my first impressions, kind of looking at and playing the character, she seems pretty dang good to me. I feel like she's a pretty solid character overall. Now, is she better than like Firefly or Acheron or Boot Hill? It's honestly kind of hard to say, because MOC is going to feature things that are going to put certain characters ahead of others. That's just kind of how it is. But I do think she is a really solid character. Considering we're using Eternal Calculus on this, we're not using her signature. It's
all I'm gonna say, there's no way in hell that should ever be better than Acheron. Firefly, debatable for sure. Like currently, in my opinion, potentially yes, but again, this MOC is heavily catered towards. Well, the only thing that I will say why she might be a bit better than Firefly is no joke because of the AoE hit. AoE hit is just so fucking meta. And in fact, that's actually the only reason why, in my opinion, why Fei Xiao could never be better than Acheron, or isn't at the current state of the game. Because yes, they share very similar kits to an extent, but Fei Xiao is a single target while Acheron is an AoE. That's the only reason why I would say that Rappa is, as of right now, in my current opinions, I haven't used her. This is just first videos of her right now. I feel like she might be better than Firefly, because Firefly isn't AoE. The amount of value that AoE brings is just absurd.
Does a lot of damage. I think what makes me happy about this is that she's an erudition character and she's just smashing MOC. Granted, MOC has like I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as I can here. MOC does have multiple enemies and multiple trash mobs this time around. It doesn't always have 5 enemies, and sometimes it only has like 4. But just because MOC has more than 3 enemies, I feel like it makes it worth it for her. And even then, she has like 2 of her hits are blast anyways, so it's not like she's always going to be hitting all 5 enemies every single time. She just seems like her damage holds up in multiple game modes. I tried her in Pure Fiction. She works there as well. I actually found a lot of success with her too in Apocalyptic Shadow. Now that was something that surprised me a lot, because Apocalyptic Shadow I thought was meant to be like the hunt game mode or like the single target game mode, but realistically Apocalyptic Shadow kind of changes by the patch, and in general teams that can break the enemy are really just king in that game mode. And because Rappa is a break character, she does very, very well. Let me go ahead and show you her light cone too, by the way, just while we're looking at it. I'll go ahead and equip it just so you guys can see. It's going to increase her break effect by 6.
I'm giving you a chance, sweetie.
I'm gonna kill myself all my days. Now I'm gonna get Trojan ad.
This character is somewhere between yachts in the game that just, I would say they just work like pretty well. I said it was fine. When you enter battle, you immediately get 30 energy. This seems huge for her just to be able to get started early. You'd be able to start right at the start of the fight as opposed to her second turn. And then after you use your ultimate, you would get right on. And after using 2 basic attacks, it advances her action forward by 50% and removes right on. Now you have to use her ultimate to reset right on, but it basically just makes it so you get action forward, which is super nice. She does benefit a lot from action forward. And in fact, let me tell you about her teams real quick. So the unfortunate thing about Super Break teams is that they are pretty limited right now. There are really solid supports in the game that just, I would say they just work like pretty well with most Super Break characters. There are some pretty solid supports in the game right now for free-to-play players. Like Harmony Trailblazer is just incredible and completely enables the archetype for people. And of course you have March as a sub DPS if you want to play like Apoc Shadow or something. March can end up being a pretty solid fill if you don't have someone like Ruan Mei to help you out. But Ruan Mei is going to be the go-to support. Like you definitely want to have Harmony Trailblazer and Ruan Mei together if you're going to play Rappa. If you remove Trailblazer and there's not another character that enables Super Break, you may be in for a little bit of trouble getting her to do a ton of damage, because she does do her own instance of Super Break damage, but it's not going to be on the same level as just using Harmony Trailblazer. And Ruan Mei is going to give you that break efficiency that's going to make breaking with Rappa even easier, as well as the speed buff for your whole team, which is super nice. Now Linkshaw I was running because it's like optimal, but you can also just use Gallagher.
You could literally use Gallagher or Well, as I use in this video right here. But on like all things considered, I don't know. I mean, team wise, I feel like it's pretty obvious. It's a Super Break. There isn't that much teams, like at all. The Idolongs, we don't. I mean, I don't really care too much about the Idolongs, but let's just see what else.
If that's how you feel about characters, that's fine. You don't have to pull for her, right? But I feel like she does do her job fairly well. You can definitely zero cycle with this character, especially with a better build and more preparedness, more resets potentially. This character is definitely capable of doing that. I also really like that all of her traces are meaningful for her. Getting the break effect, speed, and the attack percent are all super nice for her. I know like a lot of characters will have like HP stats randomly, and like you get them because you want the character to live, but like it would be so much nicer if the stats went into something a little bit easier for you to be able to build into. And as I mentioned before, since you can zero cycle this character at E0, you don't need Eidolons, but if you want to get Eidolons, here's what they do. Essentially, her seal form state is just her ultimate. This makes it so that she ignores 15% of target defense, and after her seal form, she gets 20 energy back. So it just makes it even faster to recover her ultimate. Her E2 is going to enhance her basic attacks first 2 hits. Her second Eidolon's going to enhance her enhanced basic attacks even further to make it so that they have more toughness reduction. So as I mentioned to you guys before, they have 10 toughness reduction.
Now the question is E1 or S1, because E1 is really good. What the hell?
On those first 2 basic attacks, but they're actually going to have
arguably better than S1.
So that'll be super helpful. That'll basically put you at 35 toughness break instead of 25, which can be pretty dang good. Her E3 is a skill and talent level up. Her E4 is gonna also, but her E4 is more of a supporting ability, which I think is really interesting. It's going to increase all of your allies' speed by 12%. So do with that information what you will. I don't think that's like super necessary, because obviously, like I said, we can already zero cycle, but you know, if you're gonna E6, that's a nice little bonus to have. Might make speed tuning a little weird if you do any of that with her in the team, but most people aren't doing that. E5 is going to be ultimate or basic attack level up. And E6 is going to make it so that when the battle starts, she gets 5 points of the talent's charge right off the bat. And after you launch a third hit of her ultimate, you get 5 points of charge back immediately. So anytime you're using those points from her ultimate...
Obviously, E6 is going to be broken. But I feel like Rappa's E1 is better than her S1. Like, in all actuality. Because you could always use an ER rope with Rappa. Like, that's... I mean, I don't think you would need to, because she gets so much energy back. But the S1 is like, if you have a Firefly LC just laying around, you can just slap that on there, right? But that that E1, yo, that shit is insane. That E1 is actually hella good. What the hell? Well. Alright, let's just see what
specifically
has
the
to
third
say
hit, you're instantly able to get more points back. Now, this only matters because you're able to get her ultimate faster if you have things like her light cone, which is going to help you get to ult 1 turn sooner, and then the next turn you'll be able to start getting more energy back. And then your other Eidolons, that's going to give you more energy. I believe that was E1. So, and then of course, because you have Eidolons, you're potentially defeating enemies faster, which is just more energy more quickly. That's the only reason you really need the talent charge here, but that's only if you're gonna have Eidolons in the first place. So guys, I'm gonna keep it real. I wouldn't go for the Eidolons, and frankly, I wouldn't go for the light cone either. But if you're a fan of this character, or maybe the streamer MyRuby, this design might be for you, and maybe you want to pull for them. I'm gonna be pulling for Rappa for sure, especially over my Twitch, twitch.tv/Brax, but I don't think she's a must pull. I don't think she's bad. I think people doom posting this character are a little silly, as you guys just saw what she's capable of doing. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this first impressions, first look, make sure to let me know down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, or don't.
Yes, as Braxiphone just said, subscribe to Human Celery on YouTube. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and yeah, thank you for the views.